Hello everyone, my name is Mythrell and welcome back to Torment Titles Numenera. So, I think I will talk again to the speaker. I've told you everything I know. Until you get to the resonance chamber, I'm as blind as you. He points to the rift in space, leading back to the real world. Just head through that portal, activate the chamber, and we're healed. It is as simple as that. What is the sorrow? That thing that was here, that enormous shadow, that was just the smallest piece of it. You felt it, you saw it. It's our death. I don't know anything more than that. Okay. Alright, I'm gone. So, basically this is some kinda inside our head world, I suppose. So let's go check the real world.
Where did he fall from? His body smashed to talc. It's a wonder he's still breathing.
All I saw was the corona, not his origin point. But look, he's healing already. Spontaneous regeneration.
Okay, so we have partial voice lines. Oh, what was that? What did he do? Callistige? His tone has become accusatory. Suspicious. You open your eyes. The first thing you notice is this man's kaleidoscope of tattoos writing across his forearms. He wears a long, dark coat belted at the waist. Supplies filling the pockets. His boots are worn and stained with years of travel. You blame me? Callistage is saying this. He emitted an internal physiological reaction in response to the fall. Probably related to that fantastic healing process. Obviously, Aliturn. Her voice rolls and hisses, and you have to rub your eyes to be sure that you're not seeing double. Find echoes of her actions trail from her, each nearly mimicking her, so some act and react to stimuli that you can't perceive. Her vivid hair and outrageous clothing remain constant through these shadows. Okay. Aliturn. Oh yes, it's obvious, Callistage. His voice is scream and clipped. Then he sees you looking at him. You are no ordinary mortal, we know that much. Start talking. His face is hard and set. Okay, and my scan thought says he is the changing god. Callistage is deliberately blinding herself. But why? I mean, this is quite the start to our game, to be honest. This was the same on the old Planescape game as well. You are just dropped into some insane scenario and you have no clue what the heck is going on. And everyone is some kind of, I don't know, whatever. I'm no ordinary mortal. What do you mean? You really don't know. He cocks his head to the side. I'm starting to think you're not him. Callistage, starting to think, Aliturn, tell me, is it a novel experience? Scan thoughts, Aliturn's being more paranoid than usual. How long must I put up with him? What? Aliturn, it is his face. I never seen any other people rebuild themselves like that. Only the changing god could have healed so quickly. He sighs and rubs his face, trying to regain his composure. Maybe you could help me for a change. You know what this means to me. Oh, so... this is from the Callistage's mind, I suppose. That he's thinking that Aliturn's being more paranoid than usual. It's kind of weird. And this must be Aliturn who thought that I am the changing god. I don't know. Callistis, you're familiar with the word changing, Aligen. It implies inconsistency. Thus, the changing god may well have changed. Yeah, true. Several versions of her struck, and she addresses you. You'll have to forgive him. He believes you're someone he once knew, even though it's painfully obvious to anyone that you are newly born. Callistis, her most solid self-courtesies, while others bow or spin. I and my sisters am Callistis. This is Aligen. We are explorers, knowledge seekers. That's how we came to be in this room. If I'm not mistaken, you are what we call a cast-off. The changing god created you, body and mind. Your sire used your body for a time, then abandoned it for reasons of his own. When his mind departed for a new experience, you were born in his cast-off shell. Okay, so who is the changing god? Ha! That's something coming from you. Callistis, she gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, and a means to transfer his self to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void. Aligen, oh, he knew all right. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind. Scan thoughts. He sees us as experiments, not humans. Where are we? What is this place? Get some rare readings here. Alright. Callistis, a sanctum of your sires. The common belief is he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, possibly other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance. And are there other cast-offs? Dozens, hundreds, who can say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries. So if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. Yeah, true. So you say I was born when the changing god left, but why I'm not dead? I used a cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do you do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you'll make strong bodies, fast, powerful. Maybe throw in regeneration while you are at it. I mean, yeah, I suppose if you if you can build whatever you want. It's kinda strange though. The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving. Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours. Huh. How can you be sure that this body is a cast-off? You mean aside from your miraculous reformation? For one thing, there's your tattoo. All cast-offs have one, though its purpose is beyond me. And then, of course, there's your delicious naivety. He could be faking it. You don't live hundreds of years without learning to lie convincingly. True. Oh, for she sighs in exploration. Aspiration. I don't know. No clue what that means. Then says to you, what do you think? Are you a newborn child, or are you a powerful immortal whom death has robbed of his memories? Aligen crosses his arms and growls. Fine, what do you think? Scandals, this should be interesting. So Aligen is thinking that this should be interesting. I survived that fall and have skills and powers I don't recall learning. What if I am the chasing god? Legion, I knew it, he looks at Callistus, triumph lighting his eyes. I knew it. Silver Tide raised a small amount. Okay, I don't know what the Silver Tide is. I suppose these are kinda the way how the game tracks what you choose over time. And you probably get some bonuses or penalties, depending where you are. Maybe? She shakes her head scornfully. He said, what if, Aliturn? Honestly, would one who has lived so casually for so many years casually admit his identity to people like us? Aliturn, we'll see. If you are the changing god, you have a lot to answer for to a lot of people. His voice is grim, and then he looks steadily at her, resentment apparent in every line of his frame. He crosses his arms and sighs. If the changing god abandoned my body, where is he now? If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. He eyes you keenly. Oh, do stop. The look she gives Aliturn is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters. If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else. What was that blast of energy when I woke? As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a physiological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a cast-off, but yes, it could very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it caused any real harm. Not to me, at least. Really, you've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her at a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Are you sure that the search didn't hurt you? If it did, it was damage in our minds. So how do you check if it carved her? I couldn't say. So to find normalcy here. Tough to find normalcy here. Oh man, so much text. Yeah, this was the great and the bad side of the old RPGs. At least we know it didn't hurt Aliturn. That skull's as thick as organic stone. Do you know anything about the tides? I've heard that term before. A subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. I want to ask about something else. Before I woke, I was in some kind of dreamlike labyrinth with a glowing spectre. Not a scepter. Okay. With how hard you hit the ground. I'm surprised that's all you saw. Yeah, true, I suppose. Why do you seem to hate the changing god so much? His face is calm, but his voice is bitter and tired. You should know, shouldn't you? You've ruined lives, committed crimes, and now it seems like you've forgotten the harms you engineered. You left a trail of the dead and dying behind you. She and her echoes share an expression that is equal parts amused and appalled. He's not the changing god, Aliturn. If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive the most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of physical destruction. As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room, lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind, physical, temporal, physic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Callistes is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Spectre had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered. The sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to... I think he gets the point, Callistes. I saw a vision of myself in another time and place just now. You didn't see it too, did you? I saw you stare into space while Callistes graphically described all the ways you could die, but that's about it. He nods. I only noticed because I did the same thing. Do either of you know anything about the sorrow? I had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line. I know nothing about it. Huh. Well... Do either of you know how to fix that crystal chamber here?
Making a note.
Oligran chuckles, then, firm and certain, he says, not likely, though it might not be impossible. You need people with appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains carefully impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn. Where's your judgment, Alijan? I would take him to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. What is the Order of Truth? Knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Alijan here was once one of them. Frauds, quacksalvers and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the changing god's secrets. You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Alijan. Let us take our new friend to the Order. What is the cult of the changing god? Despite what she says, they are not insane, they're eccentrics. Yeah, who isn't? She laughs, but he shoulders on. They're worshippers of, well, of you or your sire. The changing god, they devote their lives to understanding your kind. I mean... I'm gonna wanna go with the Callistes. But then again, the cult of changing god sounds more fun. So... our options are knowledge seekers or cultists. Yeah, let's go. I don't know, cultists, so... This can't be that big of a choice, really, I don't believe. The Order of Truth, Cult of Changing God. Yeah, let's go for the Order of Truth. I mean, I could figure it out on my own as well. I get the feeling that these guys will join in our party, so to say. So let's take the Order of Truth. Of course, once I provide an introduction to the priests, we'll have your chamber fixed in no time. You'll end up without your clothes and broken in a ditch, while she laughs it off as a good experiment. It's probably best I come with you as well. So yeah, they both join anyway. Suspicious as always, Alison. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her faces. Scan thoughts. I shudder to think what Alison might do to the child. Yeah, sure. That's a good question. Why do you want to go with me? What is in it for you? I won't deny that you're an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef. Scan thoughts. Who knows what secrets this child could help me find, if I can help him live long enough. Kid, you're not so safe here, and not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef, scavenger who will sell you for parts, if they knew where you came from and what you were. Scan thoughts. If he's not the changing god, he needs my help. And if he is... well... alright, then let's go. You change your first companions. They will follow the last cast of and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their pasts and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Companions have their own motivation and personalities, and depending on the choices you make, they may not follow you forever. You will find more companions who can join you as you travel through the Ninth World. Take this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You might find items, equipment, and more to assist you. When you are ready, you can leave the broken dome using the stairs to the northeast. Okay.
All right.
God, the mouse speed is just ridiculous. I need to actually tune that down if I can. Huh. Camera speed. Well. Apparently it's already on the slowest, so. Well. Actually, I can just turn down the DPI, I suppose. Yeah, that's a little better. Although, yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, this character animations are really slow somehow.
Of course.
But again, it's a turn-based combat game, so you don't really have to be that fast. Or that fast. A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shuddering housing, filling the air with greasy stench. Raw machinery, quick finding, fingers. Attempt to scavenge what you can from the arm's housing. I'm gonna examine it first. So. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly topped the device appears burnt, old, and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling notes can attest. Okay. Effort. If you select company and spotlight in the effort window, they can assist you. Cast and assist the last cast of with some challenges. Your company stat pools are used instead of your own. And they may have different skills, abilities, and statistics that make the challenge easier. Companions cannot assist in a crisis and can only use their stats during their turn. Really, so this is... So I'm trained in machinery. He is trained in it as well, and she is not. So it's either me or him. I can 100% it. Let's 95%. Success. Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. Spray flesh. Heals 8 points of health. Okay. You recognize their value at once. Such objects could be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world, so you gather them up and take them with you. So I get some money.
Alright.
So she has high intelligence as well.
How may I guide you?
And very weird voice. I wanted to check. Seems like you can equip standard items. I wanted to check the petals. Huh. So yeah, this is the temporary effect. I really don't like this UI. I mean, it just feels so. And I have to say that was one of the more disgusting, or it wasn't that great on the previous Torment game, Planescape Torment, that is. So he has a mace, and he has a... She has some kind of sword. Is that actually a pistol? That's a pistol. Right. And a red cape. Dimensional mantle. Okay. Cannot be unequipped. This cannot be unequipped either. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking about those tides. Where do you check the tides? Should I put these on? There's probably not any kind of quick slot here.
Of course.
So basically, so far this game feels like a kind of Pillars of Eternity, but even more story, less combat. But I assume there will be plenty of combat as well. Broken fragments of the domed ceiling are scattered on the floor. They appear to be made of transparent shit.
Let's do it.
I really don't like this hybrid modes. It's scrolling, please. Okay. Yeah, that must have been
Alright.
why it felt so weird. So there's nothing else. What is this thing? Tiny glowing motes that flow through the interior of this tower. Each one is surrounded by much smaller motes, like thousands of worlds serving their suns.
I'm ready.
Oh, there's a lot of crap I missed. A slate black, unimpressive device hungers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arc rises over a jagged, grey landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular arrow of light. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within it says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Alright, so distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but it's choosing not to answer. Command me. This reminds me a lot of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy book, the Robot Marvin or something like that. What was that arc you showed me? Your command was not understood. The intelligence chuckles. Its lights pulsing. Command me. What commands do you recognize? The three lights show irritably. Heated iron sights from the device vents, and then, a towering list of commands races through your mind, far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence throttles. Command me, it says smugly. Smashing. Examine the outside of the device. An indignant hum rises from the intelligence engine as you examine its ancient casing. Lore, machinery. A much newer mechanism on the device's side appears to be giving this intelligence its vocabulary and forcing it to speak to you. The device's original creator may not have meant for it to communicate at all. Huh. I mean, I could smashing, but try the smashing. Kick the device as hard as I can. Yeah, physical things are not my fault there. I think I will let him. Success. The intelligence light flutters in alarm just before your foot smashes into the base of the device. Something within goes crunch. Gilgating damage, it gasps. The trial light focusing on you with blinding intensity. All prisoners lost. Suturing lucrum woe. A hatch springs open near the dent left by your foot, and the lights flicker off as you claim a hissing component from the device's smoky interior. View shard. Oddity. The shard of glass displays an image of trees strangely carved. Something. You planning on breaking every machine in here? The shard of glass displays an image of trees strangely carved children on a field. A sequence of them playing a simple ball game repeats itself. After repeated weavings, you notice a small child standing further away in the field. This fourth child is looking directly at you. Her large eyes brim with fear. I don't want to discard it right away. Okay. Very strange.
Of course.
Loot. It's kind of funny that they find all these new and very descriptive ways of doing things, yet loot is still loot. I'm a little disappointed, maybe. Okay, so I can heal these points. Fleetfoot Moss heals 3 points of speed. Speed? Right, the center one is speed, okay. Just take all.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna assume that those will regenerate over time. Or when we sleep or something like that. Edge in each stat pool acts like a discount when using points from that pool. What?
I need to talk to you.
Well, let's talk then.
This is the reef of fallen worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Why were you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growls. Don't be so paranoid. But when she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you knowingly. What makes the reef so dangerous? The Numenera of the past are always dangerous. But there are other dangers too, some closer than others. Scandals. I hate to think what Callistes might do him if I weren't here. Huh. What are the Numenera? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you. Everything left over from the prior worlds. Sacred Cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilizations. Hells, you can scoop a handful of earth without finding grit from prior worlds mixed within it. Or with it. Numenera is anything from the prior worlds, but mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of the Numenera are just oddities, fancy trinkets with little real use, but sometimes you get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts can last a lot longer. Though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times, he frowns. Not that it's ever happened to me. Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases it doesn't really matter. Like you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot, but who the hell knows enough to build you the rest of it. Better to use it as a weapon or a power source, he scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew a tenth of the secret of the ancients. But most days it's a challenge just to survive. What's your story? Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust this damn reef any more than the company we keep. What do you think of Callistid? A parasite disguised as a scholar. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that would be slow for her. Then why are you traveling with her? He clenches his mouth shut, and you can see his jaw muscles working. She said she could help me with a problem I had. We never seemed to get anywhere with my business, but found plenty of time for hers. He looks you square in the eye. It wasn't something I'd care to do again. Keep that in mind when you talk to her. Can you tell me about your tattoos? They look almost alive. These, they're nothing. Call them a consolation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names, but that's because they've had occasion to run off a fall of these little snakes. He looks away. The line of questioning is clearly at the end. My gift and curse, they remind me of it every day. What do you think we should do next? You want to fix the crystal chamber back there, yeah? First step is getting out of this reef. Okay, let's keep going, alright?
In this world, then.
The heck is this? Two floating cones whirl and spin deliriously around each other, giggling like children being tickled. The air around them smells of sweet burning leaves. What are you? The cones continue whirling and laughing like enraptured dancers, giving no signs that they've heard you. You know what? I would love to see if one of my other guys have quick fingers. What's them for patterns? The longer you stare at these artifacts, the more you're convinced that they turn faster when their spiraling paths cross each other. Okay, toss a cone as it passes. So I could do it. He could do it. She could do it. I think it's her turn. Success. You managed to graze one of them with the tip of your finger. Rorn, a voice says. And your vision is stolen from you. A moon hangs over you, but it's not the one you recognize. It's black and in a pearl white sky. Thick, flat asteroids orbit it like petals in the wind. You feel questing tendrils at your ankle, and the hot wind on your face smells of scorched hair and grief. Whole lot of XP, all too. Your vision returns, the cones hang motionless for only a second before resuming the giggling dance. Leave the cones alone.
All right.
Although this cube hovers in the air, you can feel the ground shudder with its vibrations. A long cable extends from the spot, but at the point where it dips below the water, it has snapped in half. Okay.
Yes, child.
I don't know. Okay, some guys going in. Koro, as you step onto what looks like a back of the enormous construct, 4 strangers approach you. In the lead is a wiry man with parallel scars running from cheek to collarbone on the left side of his face. He gives you a welcoming smile, pulling on grey gloves embedded with pulsing lights. He's about to say something to you when he notices Callista's scandals. He's a star, or he came out of it, but what does Kal have to do with this? Kal, I thought you'd sworn off trolling the reef. Found anything tasty? His ace travels up and down both you and Aliturn. Odds and ends, Quero. Nothing that would interest you, I'm sure. Her words are calm, but she has gone quite still. Scan thoughts. What is he doing here? He has something up his sleeves, I know it. Turn to Quero. What do you want? Right to the point, this one, isn't he? I know most of the draft that scavenges the reef these days, but this is a rare pleasure to see a new face, he smiles. His smile is disarming. All I want is information. A falling star landed near here not long ago. I don't suppose you were around to see it. I don't trust them, Aliturn hisses in your ear, but loud enough that Callista can hear too. Any friend of hers is a cheat killer or both. What does that say about you, dear? She gives Aliturn a venomous smile. Killer or not, she whispers, Quero is not a man who can be trusted with unvarnished truth. Tread lightly. Nice scars. How did you get them? 2 things are more dangerous than death in this world, he says, his smile widening. Asking impolite questions of strangers and playing with Numenera you don't fully understand. My error was the latter in the category, and I've grown more careful since. So, if I follow Callista's advice, I cannot trust him with the truth, so maybe we'll try the deception. Shit. Apparently we suck at lying. Even she sucks at lying. Well, she's gonna have to go for it. Success! Cross studies you for a long moment before sighing. Alright, he says. Well, do let us know if you spot anything of interest. I'd like to say we'd pay for the privilege, but if we were rich, we wouldn't be down here, would we? Scan thoughts. If he's not telling the truth, then he's a fantastic liar. Guess I was wrong. Well, apparently I'm a fantastic liar. Nice thinking, kid. That would have been a fiasco. You figured out why they were here, right? Scan thoughts. I know I couldn't trust Callistage. This is the last time I make that mistake. They saw me fall from the sky and came to investigate. Oh, sure, and they just had that ambush ready to go at the same time as we were leaving. No kid, Callister sold us out. Excuse me, are you suggesting I had something to do with Quero's plans? Scanned out. Oh, I cannot abide his rapid paranoia a moment longer. Are you suggesting you didn't? An old friend of yours just happens to be waiting for us, armed and outnumbering us, as we return from the greatest find of the reef. Greatest find the reef has seen in years. It's too convenient for me, too convenient by far. Of all the idiotic paranoid delusions, you really believe this, don't you? You really believe I'd use a half-wit like Quero to stab you in the back, rather than do it myself? You see, kid, she'll stab you in the back first chance she gets, most likely in your sleep. He throws up a hand, forestalling Callista's retort. Look, I don't care. Fact is, I can't trust you anymore. And I wonder why I ever did. This is the last we travel together. I've got enough to worry about without having to watch my back 28 hours a day. He turns to you. You coming, kid, or what? Aliturn, I really don't think she was trying to betray us. He snorts bitter laughter. I do. You haven't seen one-tenth of her depths, not 1/20th. She's a backstabbing bitch, mark my words. You're insufferable to the end, Alison. Looking for the worst in a situation is the only way you know to see. Do you know how long I've carried your pain for you? How much I've had to turn away from your judgmental stares? But you're right, I've had enough. She turns to you. Child, I'm happy to guide you, but I will not walk another step with this paranoid buffoon. Finally, something we agree on, he growls. Kid, she'll chop off your head and spit down your throat. I'll get you where you need to go and let you sleep at night at boot. It's up to you. Why can't I travel with both of you? Can't you just work it out? She burst out laughing. My dear boy, we have been working it out. Alichon's petulance is obstinacy in the face of fact drive me away every day. He might be strong, but he's also thick. I dare you to try traveling with him and see how long you endure. Not as long as I have, I'll wager. His face darkens under her accusations, but he managed a pained smile. As if you're doing me a favor by staying with me. Do you think I don't see your true self in all those echoes around you? That's you, Callistic, every facet of it. Your vivisectionist vivisectionist's heart hasn't changed. Just the way you present it. I thought I could help you, but I'm gonna go with Callistic. Right, well, if you want me and she doesn't sell you for parts, you can find me in the underbelly, but not with her, mind you. She'll sell you for parts first, and she. Forget it. It's his choice, not my problem. I'll let you know what you've missed, Aliturn. I'm sure you won't be missed, that is. She links her arm possessively into yours. Let's go, child. We have all to conquer. Okay. Now that you dealt with Goro and his goons, you can continue on the city of Sagus Cliffs. To reach the city, cross the bridge at the north end of the platform. I suppose we probably would have fought them if I didn't talk them out of it.
Yes, child.
But yeah, that's about it for this episode. I was gonna comment on the graphic style of this game, which is kind of weird mix of Pillars of Eternity and old Baldur's Gate, maybe? It's kind of strange. But yeah, I think that's enough for this day. I don't know how many more episodes I will do, to be honest, because it's like reading a book, and I think I'm not the best. I'm not the best one to do audiobooks, so it's probably not worth for me to continue this, but I might do another episode, who knows. I'll set the game here anyway, and hopefully I will see you on the next video, whatever it might be. Bye.